Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by New Patients Incorporated and NPIClick.com. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to our podcast at the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. Hello, Mark. How are you guys doing out there in New Jersey?
Hey, Howie. Been a while since we podcasted together, probably about 3 weeks.
Yes. It was a different world back then.
And now the zombie apocalypse is
upon us.
Yes, that's correct. So Howie is in Las Vegas in his home. I'm in my office in New Jersey. So today's podcast is about something you've never heard of. It's called WPO, and we wanted to just let you know where it came from, how it got here, what it is, and how it should benefit dentists moving forward. And again, COVID-19 aside, eventually our lives are going to turn normal again. We're not asking you to buy anything or even consider buying anything at this point in your life. You should be conserving cash on your marketing spend. All of you should be, despite what some other people are telling you. This is a dental marketing company telling you that you should be conserving, as we are. We're a company. We have a marketing budget. We're conserving our marketing budget right now, right, Howie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're practicing what we preach.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to this WPO thing. So what does it stand for? It stands for Web Presence Optimization. And you might say to yourself, what in the hell is that? That sounds incredibly generic. I'm confused. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're doing a podcast on it. So if you know anything about NPI, you know for sure how much data drives, or data analysis actually, not just the data, drives what we do. It drives literally everything. It drives our strategy. It drives our analysis, our strategy, our designs. It drives our production, our deployment timing. Data drives literally everything. And you probably already know, for clients, mostly who we handle all their marketing, right? Some clients we don't handle all their marketing, and a lot of clients we do. And where we do, many times we manage, build and manage their websites and their Google local and their organic optimization and all that stuff, right? So in the old way of doing things, and I'm not casting aspersions on any other dental marketing company here, this is our old way. So I'm casting aspersions, if anything, onto ourselves. Okay. So in the old days, we would build websites first. And I know that sounds logical, and it is, but that's what we would do. We would build websites first. And we would typically align all the doctors' marketable attributes. We already know the priority according to dental consumers, not according to dentists and not according to dental marketing companies. Okay. According to dental consumers, we know what matters most and what matters least, right?
Right.
So we know that statistically. And so we would just grab the priority marketable attributes of every client dentist, and we would organize their website and make navigations out of the things that we scored highest importance. And from a user interface standpoint, we would move those more important things to the consumer up and maybe even create their own page, right? So that's how we always built websites as long as I can remember. I got here when? 2004. So I don't know, 16 years ago, right? That's the way we've been building websites.
Yeah, that's right.
So along comes this enormous technology platform a little while ago that allows us to analyze much deeper. It actually combines Google Analytics, if you know anything about Google Analytics, you know how incredibly grainy, how incredibly small you can get with your data analysis. Tiny little microbes of data you can analyze.
Granular.
Yeah, granular. That's what I was. Thank you, Howard. So I said grainy, right?
Yeah.
I was looking for granular.
Well,
I need more
think
coffee.
either one works. Yeah.
Yeah. So it came to our attention on this data platform that we now use that we were going about building out these websites and these web strategies. We were building them out in the second best way. Because the way we were doing it is good, but it was the second best way. Because as the Google Analytics was pouring in, and if you combine that with the actual phone calls and conversion numbers, all right, from that traffic that analytics sees, if you are able to do that and you can see it and you can attribute those new patients properly back to the source, you will see the same thing we saw. You will see that dental consumers in almost every market, there's a pretty short list of, let's say, the first 80% of searches when they're looking for a dentist. There's a pretty short list of what they type in. Now, that list changes market to market. Some markets, they'll type in the town name. Some markets, they type in the zip code. Some markets, they change the search completely. Dentist near me is probably, that's the one you can count on the most. But then after that, they get all different market to market. And it's amazing if you actually study the data. You're like, wow, people are typing that in. You go, yeah, look, there was 83 searches last month for that thing, that dentists were.
Some crazy thing like dog ate my dentures or something, right?
Right. So using that as the framework rather than prioritizing the doctor's marketable attributes, that's the second best way to do it. That's the way we were doing it. What we decided to do was build websites based on consumer demand and what consumers were typing in and demanding. And we know that. We know what that is. So using Howie's example, dog ate my dentures, if that search phrase actually had like a consistent use month over month of, let's say, 90 people a month within a reasonable geo, like 3-mile radius of a dental practice, you would look at one of our client sites and there would be a splash screen that said, "Did your dog eat your dentures?"
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's 90 people literally looking for the solution to that problem. And when they hit your website will be the only one that presents a solution to that problem. Now, is that a terrible, probably never happen again example? Sure. But Dallas dentist zip code, that happens all the time. For some reason, people in Dallas type in zip codes. Probably because it's just a big old gigantic city and it's flat. And people don't like East Dallas, West End. I mean, there's sections of Dallas, but it's a hell of a lot easier just to go, you know what? Dallas dentist zip code.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people aren't really sure how the Google local works. And a lot of people don't have their location turned on their browser or their phone because they don't want Big Brother knowing where the hell they are. Okay? So for a lot of reasons, what you do is before you put pen to paper, before you even start building the nav or the framework of a dental website, or at least what we do now, is we do a very thorough analysis of the last X months, typically 6 months, on the search volume and the exact phrasing of that search volume in that given market in a reasonable core radius, let's say 5 miles. And that actually begins the process where that used to be the end process. See, before we would build a website and then go look and see what people typed in to find it. Now we go look and see what people type in to build the website.
Yes, exactly.
It's almost like an upside down cake.
Yeah. Okay. It's reversed.
It's reversed. Exactly. So WPO has many pieces, but let's take a break and come back, and we'll explain what all those pieces are.
Okay. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wondered if your marketing was really working? Result tracking is essential to all your marketing efforts. Without it, you're just guessing, which can be very expensive. With our NPI Click dashboard, you won't have to guess anymore. You will see every call, you can listen to every call, our humans will rate every call. Bottom line, you will have transparency into your marketing results like you had always hoped for. Check it out at npiclick.com.
All right, we are back. We're talking about WPO.
We discussed in the first part of this podcast how and why we do it the way we do it now, and now I'll go through the benefits. One of the benefits is, and here's another reality. When you do work for anyone, when a dentist does work on patients, there's a certain amount of effort, labor, cost, what have you, right, that you put into that project. Let's call the project a procedure, right, a crown. And if you consistently spend more time, energy, and money on producing a crown, the cost of the crown goes up, okay? In our business, when we build websites, and let's say we build a website and we do your Google local optimization and we do some organic optimization. And let's say that the organic optimization is not matching or meeting your either expectations, approval, what have you. Web presence optimization allows us to focus, because we're building it from scratch, based solely on what we've proven statistically the consumers are typing into their own phones and their own browsers to find dental services in and around a 5-mile radius immediately surrounding your practice. There's a lot less of the Google local, not a lot less of the Google local, there's a lot less of the organics that we would have to do in order to get you the traffic you're looking for. Because here's what we've noticed with Google and the optimization on the organic side. Actually, let me back up one step. For those who don't understand or have never been exposed to the 3 sections of a Google search result page, the very top are ads, then the map, there's a little box with map and little balloons in the map, and then there's usually 3 or 4 listings. You might have an ad or 2 in those listings. That box and that map and those little listings in that box are called Google Local. And then everything underneath Google Local is what's called organic. So you have ads at the top, local in the middle, organic at the bottom. So it's a lot harder and costs a lot more money and takes a lot more labor to get your organics to perform well and to drive results. It does for everybody. That's why there's SEO experts. Okay, they wouldn't be called SEO experts if there wasn't a reason for it. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy to position organically. And the more competitive of a market you're in, the longer and more time and more energy and more money it's going to take. But in the meantime, you're a dentist and you want phone calls. Which brings me to the next beauty of WPO, which is an integrated call tracking mechanism which automatically tracks the calls from your Google business page, your website, whether they came to your site organically from social media, from your local business page, wherever they came to you from. When they hit your website and they dialed that number, you're going to know, and you're going to know on a dashboard, and it's going to count for you the number of phone calls you receive from each one of those categories. It's called attribution. Okay, we're going to attribute your marketing spend logically in something that you can watch and see 24/7, 365 right in front of you. And you can monitor it. So if you are spending marketing dollars and you want to know if you're getting the value from the marketing dollar you're spending, there's no longer any uncertainty. Okay? It's right there in front of you. And if you want to go one more step, you'll convince someone in your office to go source those patients, because we're telling you where they came from social media, came from local, came from organics, came from direct, came from referrals. They're all going to be listed there in this dashboard. And if anyone in your office would just look at that once a day and go to your practice management software and source the patients properly, guess who's going to have awesome production by referral reports at the end of the quarter, half, or at the end of the year? You are. Okay, so WPO isn't just about consumer tendencies, although I will tell you every 6 months we rerun those same reports, and if we see anything changing in your local search tendencies by local consumers, then we actually go onto the website and change the website for you, right? You don't have to ask. It just kind of happens. It's just part of the process. So that, let's say 6 months from now, right now, emergency dentistry is pretty important, because
that's all they can do, right?
That's all they can do, right? And most dentist offices are closed, right? So that's a great example of reanalyzing a consumer market every 6 months and making the changes to the website on the fly as the consumer changes. Another thing, Invisalign is a great example. Implants are a great example. Anything, sleep apnea treatment is anything that the dentists, that the consumers are hearing, sensing, wanting, even from the national media. Smile Direct Club. There you go. There's another example where they might get impressed by someone else's advertising and might be doing increased numbers of searches. Well, all of those things should be reviewed on a relatively continual basis and updated, so that you're constantly. Here's the end result to the user. The user, the potential new patient, is never, ever, ever more than 2 clicks away from what they're looking for or what they searched for. Never. And if there's a lot of searches for, what did you say before, Howie? What was it? Dog ate my denture?
Dog ate my denture.
So let's go back to that example. If 80 people in your 5-mile radius are typing in dog ate my denture, okay, every month, not just last month, every month, okay, then I guarantee you, front and center on that homepage, as soon as they see almost anything, whether it's on their phone or their website, did your dog eat your denture? Will be there. Yeah. Okay, so that, because here's what we know, again, analyzing data. Here's another thing we know about dental consumers. Dental consumers are, like, if you're looking at your bounce rate off of your website, dental consumers will go website to website to website to website. That's what Google Local is for. Google Local is bringing up local dentists to them with reviews and review scores. They can click on it, go to their website, make their decision, bounce out, go to the next one. That's why Google Local exists. Okay? It's a consolidation of the organics below. Right? And that's the way you use it as a consumer, and that's the way they use it as a consumer. So the last thing you want to do is make a website visitor search for something they just asked for in Google. You're basically asking them to do the labor for you. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of other benefits to WPO. You might be hearing about it here, not now, probably not next month, but 2, 3, 4 months down the road. If you have a tired old website, or you're not real pleased with the amount of traffic coming from your website to your phone, reach out, because we really believe and we know data-wise that while we were doing it the second best way before, we believe this is the best way. Specific to dentistry, not every other industry, but specific to dentistry, this is the right way to do this.
Right. Well, we sure are glad to have been with you today. We're glad you're in our audience, and we're going to be doing some more of these podcasts, probably on a more regular basis now. So tune in again next time. Bye now.
We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can get all our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn.com, and on our websites newpatientsinc.com and npiclick.com.